The princess was a lovely child, a lovely child, a lovely child. The princess was a lovely child, a lovely child. Oh, fancy walking this earth for 95 years. Seen some things in that time. Walk cheerfully over the world, meeting that of God in everyone. There are two things in the Quaker beliefs, that's one of them, and the other one is that of God in every man. You know, God's not up there in the sky, if there is a God, but there's something in human beings. I know when Hitler came along, I thought, where's that of God in him? But I think if you've known Hitler personally, you would have seen it. By that time I was married, and we were both what was called conscientious objectors. That meant that we refused to have anything to do with the fighting part of war. But we didn't want to opt out of it entirely, so we decided to help with what civilians needed who were left behind at home. We got appointed, Jeff and I, to being in charge of a children's home. We had about 50 children between the ages of 2 and 5. And we had them divided into 2 dormitories, some with the tiny little... We had babies in cots and other ones in little beds. It was ever such fun. I mean, some of them were very, very poor, and their health improved tremendously. Just being brought out of Birmingham into the country.
Can you tell me about the bombing of Coventry?
Well, my husband was in the fire service, volunteer fire service, and he disappeared at the beginning of the evening and was gone all night long, and I was alone at home. So I went to the windows that seemed to face that way, upstairs in the bedroom, and the whole sky was red with the light from the fires. And what I didn't know, but he told me afterwards, was that, because I said, what did you do? Because he wasn't a fireman or anything like that. And he said, I had the job of carrying the petrol to the fire engines. I thought, oh, what a dangerous job. Because I can very clearly remember looking out of the window that faced that way and seeing all the light in the sky and wondering what was happening to him. And then, of course, eventually I went to bed, and then he came home. What a relief. The princess sleeps for 100 years, 100 years, 100 years. The princess sleeps for 100 years, 100 years. I went to Birmingham University to be trained as a primary school teacher, and the music was the thing I was able to offer my best qualities for. I played the piano, and so I could get the children. We had classes of about 50 then, and I had 50 6-year-olds every day to look after. And the best time was when I could take them into the school hall and play running, skipping, jumping, galloping music, and going to sleep music. And they had to decide which it was and get it right every time. And it was lovely when it was over to see them all lying good and quiet on the floor, pretending to be asleep. A handsome prince came riding by, riding by, riding by. A handsome prince came riding by, riding by. He used to drop in on Sunday afternoons, and I used to think, why on earth does he keep calling on Sunday afternoon? My parents, I think, had suspicions, but that never entered my head he was interested in me in that way.
When did you start to suspect?
Well, I had a friend to stay, a woman friend, one weekend, and she said, what do you think he called? I said, why does he always have to call on Sunday afternoon? And she said, what do you think he calls for, Margaret? So that was when I started to suspect. But we were very good friends long before we got married. Are my eyes getting a bit damp? Or was it yours that were? He woke the princess with a kiss, with a kiss, with a kiss. He woke the princess with a kiss, with a kiss. It was an October day, and it was a beautiful October, rather like this. And we had our honeymoon in Malvern, which meant travelling southwest after the Quaker service and the party we had afterwards. And that was awfully romantic, you know, sort of driving away into the sunset. Oh, it was very romantic. I'll never go back there without thinking of it. But that was my happiest time, yes. The princess sleeps for 100 years, 100 years, 100 years. The princess sleeps for 100 years, 100 years. I think when I die, I look forward to joining him, whether I will or not, I don't know. But when he died, we were at Wesley Court, and they got me up at 4 o'clock in the morning because they could see that he was going downhill. So I was sitting on his bed, not far away, halfway up the bed when he died, and he fell back dead on the pillows. And then he sat up and he leant forward and he took me by the hands. I can't lift that one up, both his hands, and pulled me towards him like that. And then he fell back dead. It was a very touching moment in my life. That was, yes, very touching.
Do you think we live in better times now?
No. Different, but not better. I think people are more selfish now than they were then. And more acquisitive, if you can get that word. No, I don't think we live in better times. I think we live in rather bad times, actually. I've often thought, when I know I'm getting towards the end of my life, I've often thought, well, it's not going to get any better, so I might as well see it through and then go. It isn't. A handsome prince came riding by, riding by, riding by. A handsome prince came riding by, riding by. He woke the princess with a kiss, with a kiss, with a kiss. He woke the princess with a kiss, with a kiss. And everyone is happy now, happy now, happy now. And everyone is happy now, happy now. I literally played that game almost every day they were 6-year-olds. Did that go down all right?